I ran 50 Trials of Sekhema in hopes to get the Last Flame Relic, and guess what? I did not get it. That's it, packed the video up, you don't need to watch anymore. Well, no, before you go, the Last Flame is the bonus. The real money is the jewels and the relics that you get. The Trials of Sekhema is one of the Ascendancy trials and part of Exile 2. It allows you to get your Ascendancy points and things like that, but it is an absolute gold mine, whether it's this league or the upcoming leagues that are still coming. It is definitely one of the best farms in the game, and I would definitely give it a try. Firstly, let's talk about what build I am running. I am using my Poisonous Concoction. I literally made a video. This is my first video on the channel, my Poisonous Concoction build. If you want to go and check that out, you can. It basically is the skeleton of this whole setup and everything, but I've just made some adjustments for the Trials of Sekhema essentially, but it is pretty much the same thing. So the gear, the only thing that I changed is I put on Queen of the Forest. That way we can have more movement speed in the trials because we're scaling with defense relics and so on. And then I changed the boots. I have 27,000 evasion here, which is quite a lot, but it can be more. This is pretty much just a budget build essentially. And then for the skill tree, I took off Chaos Inoculation, and then I went for this right here, which makes it a bit more expensive. You don't need this. It just allows you to be a bit faster. It's very important that you get the line of auras for this, for the Heroic Tragedy Timeless Jewel, and this gives you Black Scythe training. Intelligence inherent bonus is 1% increased evasion rating per 2 intelligence instead. It is incredibly handy when it comes to Trials of Sekhema and so on. All right, now for our relic setup. There are only 3 relics that you want to run for this whole setup to work. Seal relics, Urn relics, and Amphora relics. For Seal and Urn, you want to increase the relic drop chance. That's one of the stats that can go on those two. Reaching above 100% increased relic chance is the minimum you need, and reaching 120% is the goal. If you are running a super low budget, and let's say you're watching this next league, or you only started and you want to try this but you just don't have enough, go for about 80% or as much as you can and just work your way up as you start building currency. For the secondary stat, if you have Queen of the Forest, which is what I have, you want defenses. Defenses is huge. If you don't, movement speed is good. The reason for defenses is because that scales your evasion rating, and the more evasion rating you have means more movement speed. And as you can see here, I've gotten to around 149% with all of my stuff and boons and everything like that. Otherwise, you can get increased honor or any of the other stats, but the main thing here is relic drop chance. That's the most important thing here. For the Amphora relics, you want to get honor resistance, and merchant has additional choices. I use 2 extra choices, but 3 is the best if you can afford it. This is what the relic setup looks like here, and this is the order of what I use for them. So if you want to just kind of copy and paste them, you can. We have our build and our relic sorted. What is the strategy in the trials? The first floor is focused purely on as much sacred water. First and second floor is rushing merchants as much as possible, avoiding as many afflictions as possible. There are quite a few afflictions you don't want to take that can make your life a little bit difficult, and there are some that will make it nearly impossible. Avoid taking Hungry Fangs. This is dangerous. You can get past with it. No evasion is a no-no because that means you lose all of your movement speed if you are running Queen of the Forest. If you're not running an evasion rating build, then this is okay. Deceptive Mirror is very bad in my opinion because it's often stuffs you over. Costly Aid, Forgotten Traditions is a big no, and Low Rivers, but this can be worked around. And one of the biggest ones is Purple Smoke. This can absolutely ruin your run as you have no idea what you're pathing into for the afflictions. Forgotten Traditions is a very bad one. I want to reiterate that. It's not good. What boons do we want? All of the other ones are just bonuses, but the main ones we want is increased defenses if you're running Queen of the Forest, increased Sacred Water, and Enchanted Urn. Enchanted Urn will increase the effect of our non-unique relics, allowing us to push our increased relic drop chance even higher. Once you get this one, the rest are just bonuses and you're good to go. I use Blink as a way to dodge over some of the trial doors, especially Gauntlet trials which require you to pull levers. You can use Frost Wall and Blink. Place down the frost wall as close as you can to the door and stand as close as you can to the frost wall, then blink. It will basically push you over. It creates a gap between the door and the frost wall, which allows you to just glitch over essentially. This will allow you to speed up your runs drastically. Trust me, give this a go. It is worth it. Realistically, Temporalis and Queen of the Forest is going to get you through the trials the fastest. I did manage to get runs to around 20 to 25 minutes on average, sometimes even less if I was super fluid and quick, but the average was around 20-ish minutes. Going on the average, if we let's say about 23 minutes a run, this challenge took me around 19 hours to complete, give or take, which was spread over multiple days as I have a life and I don't know life this game like other people, hence why I'm doing this video so late. Okay, so that's the rundown on my build. That's the relic setup, that's the strategy in the trial, the blink tip and speeds and runs and so on. What's the money? Why is Sekhema so good? Why are so many people trying to run it? Let's start with the obvious moneymaker, the Last Flame Relic. This bad boy right here is going for 400 divines at the time of prepping this video. I'm pretty sure it's a bit more now, which is absolutely insane considering divines are now worth 540 exalts each at the time of recording. Zorokaril, the last boss, does drop a bunch of different relics, but I'm not going to mention them as they are literally worth nothing this late into the league. The other decent relic we want is the Desperate Alliance, which drops quite a bit from him. This relic allows you to drop against the Darkness Jewel, and these relics go for around 2-ish divines or 120 chaos around there. The Last Flame and the Desperate Alliance are the two money makers when it comes to the end boss. But what about everything else? Well, the real money, in my opinion at least, is farming the normal relics and jewels. While I was running these trials, I managed to pick up this earned relic right here. 19% relic drop chance and 69% defenses. 1% off from a perfect relic. The cheapest one on the market is 15 divines. If you get earn and seal relics with defenses and quantity of relics at a high roll, which is above 50% for defenses and above 15% for the quantity of relics, you're looking at around 2 divines and up depending on your rolls. And of course you can always buy these at a lower roll, but making sure that it has the highest stat and you can divine them to increase them. Now, because we are scaling increased quant of relics, these relics drop like hotcakes. Like, I managed to fill multiple quad tabs of these relics by the end of these runs, and I had to craft them to lower the amount of space they took. Please remember, you can reforge your relics to have better chance at rolling better ones. Please don't forget this when you start collecting and crafting your relics. You get these relics in huge quantities. Same thing with amphora relics. If you get merchant gains 3 additional choices as well as honor resistance at about 35% and up, these relics are 5 divines minimum. Tapestry relics will roll the same thing as amphora and will sell very well. Coffer, incense, and vase relics are absolutely dog shit. Don't bother picking them up. It's a waste of time and energy. So you want to focus on seal, urn, amphora, and maybe tapestry. So outside of relying on Zorokaril or Zorok, whatever his name is, we have the normal relics, which will constantly be a source of money as you're running, so you're always building currency this way. Next, we have jewels. Jewels are the money maker here, and let me explain why. Sekhema trials are probably one of the only ways to target farm jewels, because of the royal chests you get from each boss room and the end boss room. Why is this so significant? Because in this case, it's really late into the league. People have money. People also have adorned jewels in their builds. Roll a really nice magic jewel that is corrupted and you are in the money. As you can see here, I farmed quite a bit of jewels, which I haven't fully crafted all of them. Even the rare ones can sell if you get good rolls. So while running trials, you can get a constant supply of income from relics and a gambling supply of jewels. And remember what I said earlier, the Last Flame Relic is the bonus. Sekhema trials are honestly a gold mine. Also, a nice thing about the trials is because you are most likely going to be running level 80 areas, you can farm quite a few item bases to craft on if you need any, of course. Alright, that covers how we make money. Let's talk about the loot and what we got. At the time of me writing the script, not recording this video, divines are worth 540 exalts. When I started doing these runs, divines were around 320 exalts around there. So yeah, the price of divines has shot up significantly. Take these earnings and pricings with a pinch of salt, as a lot of this comes down to RNG. You may run 5 runs and drop a Last Flame, or you may run 100 runs and never drop one. Just like me and my bad luck. Now I know the Last Flame is also very rare, so in hindsight, 50 runs is not nearly enough. But again, this does depend on your RNG. For raw currency drops, we got 4 divines, 160 exalts, 49 chaos, and 2 greater jeweler's orbs. I'm not mentioning all the small currencies because I mean, come on, it's very late into the league. This equates to around 2,914 exalts in raw currency drops. I dropped 1 stellar amulet and 1 sapphire ring, which works out to around 270 exalts. I dropped the shittiest Ventus gamble known to mankind, so I'm not even going to mention that. We got a whopping 16 Desperate Alliance vase relics out of the 50 runs. which equates to around 38 divines in just Desperate Alliances alone. I did not bother picking up any of the other unique relics because, like I said, it's so late into the league that it's like one alchemy for one of the other relics. It's just, no, it's not even worth it. This all equates to a total of 43.8 divines, which, if you had to do a quick calculation for the divines per hour for the 19 hours investment this challenge took, you're looking at an average of 2.3 divines per hour. Not bad, since you aren't taking into account the relics and jewels that you get. Now, regarding the good relics that I got and the jewels that I got, I'm just going to preface this by saying that this is entirely dependent on RNG, and while you may expect to see better or worse results. The beauty of these relics and jewels is you farm them in so much bulk that you're pretty much bound to hit big at one point. So I'm going to show you an estimated profit gain from the relics and jewels that I managed to obtain. But this will obviously not be a true representation. I'm only going to focus on the few notable relics. In this cluster right here, these equate to around 18 to 20 divines, depending if they sell for the value that I price check them at. I will show some of the main stats on the screen so you can see the potential good ones and how much they are worth. The rest are all worth around 50 to 200 exalts for all the other relics that I've grabbed. Of course, we didn't include the massive godly relic I found, which is about 15 divines. For the jewels, I only got around 5-ish divines or more, but I have not crafted all of them because, well, I'm lazy and I've got like 3 stash tabs. But the main point here is magic jewels that are corrupted can be big money with the right stats, and even rare jewels with the right stats are big money. And that's pretty much it for the loot. What are my final thoughts on the Trials of Sekhema? They are pretty long and can be boring, but what makes them a little bit easier is building up to a very fast build. A fast build has made this process so much better for me and has actually allowed me to stomach these 50 runs without losing my sanity. I will say, in hindsight, 50 runs is not nearly enough, considering the drop rate for the last flame is like 0.4, 0.5%. I'm not even sure anymore. But if you do manage to, well, you're pretty much set for the rest of the league. You can have all the fun in the world after you drop one of these. It's definitely worth it. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed the new format. Let me know if you want to see the Poison's Concoction Sekhema runner. I'll see you all in the next one.